Well, we have a new defensive coordinator in Wojciech Andrzejczyk. Coach Voigt comes to us most directly from Towson University, where he worked as a, He worked as an intern coach there this last year, got a lot of great experience there, and has come in and done a good job installing his system and teaching the fundamentals of the game very well. But the rest of the coaching staff has stayed the same. The roster has changed quite a bit. We have about 5 or 6 players who were with us last year that are not playing this year, but about 15 or 20 new players this year from various sources. We had a big group from the U19 come up. We have some players that played on that other team in Coeur that no longer exists that are in our roster now, and a handful of other guys from here and there, and 3 or 4 rookies again this year. Like always, we always seem to have a handful of brand new players, rookies come into the team, and happy to have them as well. So quite a big roster at the moment. I mean, we only had one meeting there where they were elected. They made a positive first impression. I think, as other people have said, I would lend my voice to the thought that the responsibility of a functioning federation is not only the responsibility of the board members of the federation. It's also the clubs, that need to partner with those members to make a positive thing happen. I think there was plenty of people with criticisms and not enough people willing to help out. And I think that kind of contributed to, the overall lack of success maybe we had as a federation the last couple of years. So, if everybody does their job a little bit better, maybe it'll run smoothly. It's a challenge for every club, I think, trying to find someone that's going to not only play well. Finding a good player, finding a good athlete is not that difficult. American football in Europe is now much more known in America than it was, 10, 20 years ago. So finding good players is not the problem. I think finding players that are good players that are also going to fit into your team culture is the biggest challenge. College football in America is very different than American football in Europe. A lot of things are not so much the game itself. There's still 11 guys on the field and 4 downs to get 10 yards, 6 points for a touchdown. But all the other stuff to the side is the big difference. And so trying to find somebody who can make that work is not easy. And I think the better job you do of vetting, of interviewing not only the player himself, but also people he's worked with in the past, and also doing a very good job of trying to paint as clear and accurate a picture for those imports as possible so that when they get here, there's not a whole lot of surprises. That's also very helpful in a good transition. Yeah, our U19 team is growing every year. I think we have 27 currently on the roster. Should be a good team this year. I like that the U19 is kind of detached from the senior team. In terms of the scheduling and things like that, it brings some challenges, but I think it's been a good thing. I think there's eight teams in the elite league, which is great. It's good to have more and different opponents to play. So those have been positive things, and yeah, we're looking forward to a good season. I think that's going to be a very balanced league this year. Well, I've heard it said many times. My favorite quote on that topic is, the team, the local players, the Swiss players, they're the coffee and the imports are the cream. And so, the foundation of your team is your local players. There's no question about that. But, really good American, really good import players can make a difference. I think that's true in every country in Europe. So, it's an important piece of the overall puzzle, that's for sure. Well, I mean, we have over 50 guys on our roster right now, so at the moment it's not really a problem. I think one thing that people probably may not realize is the number of players we have on our team that have started as adult rookies, and we have some of them right now. And I told them at the last practice, I mean, there's, I don't know, 10 or 12 guys on this team that play and get playing time, and several of them are starters who came to a practice with 23, 25 years old and started from the beginning, and over time built themselves up. And I think the guys that we have here do a very good job of helping new players integrate into the program. So, a lot of players that start from zero come in here and they get coached. I think the Broncos have the biggest coaching staff in Switzerland. They also have an environment where new players are welcome and new players are integrated into the team. And so if you have a team that's willing to support you, if you have a coaching staff that's willing to work with you, I think the Broncos can develop players just as well as anybody in Switzerland. Not necessarily. I think I've learned a long time ago that a smart coach is going to take the players that he has and build the system that fits them. There was one year when I was coaching. I coached in the spring in Norway, and in the fall I coached in America at a U.S. high school. And in the spring in Norway, we played the championship game, and we didn't attempt to pass in the final. We had no attempted passes. The one pass play we called, quarterback got sacked. So we did not attempt a forward pass into the game, and then we went back to California with a completely different kind of roster. We broke the state record for most passes attempted in the game. We attempted 75 passes in one game. So whatever style of offense fits the players that you have, I think that's usually the best answer.
Ready? Cut!
It's hard to tell, you know. It's hard to tell. You don't get a lot of information about it. You know, you have to expect Geneva to be very strong again. I think Bern also will probably be better than they've been the last couple of years. They haven't been bad, but I think Darius Willis going back there is going to make them better. You know, Zurich was impressive coming up. I think they look more dangerous than your normal what do you call it, Aufsteiger. You know, Winterthur I know very little about. It's hard to say anything there. And you know, Basel, you know, again, don't know much about what they're doing. So, like every year, you just kind of build up your team and show up to the first game and see what you have and see what they have, and you go from there. It's a very interesting time right now. You know, this is Thursday, the 12th of March. You know, just a week ago, you know, things about the coming season were not really on our radar, and now they are. So there's a lot of uncertainty in the air for our team and for a lot of teams. And you know, like I told the team today in the group chat or whatever, just, you know, take it one day at a time. And you know, now's the time where, you know, the community of football in America and Switzerland needs to pull together and find solutions, because I think it's going to be a challenge for all teams to go through this season with the challenges that we're facing, the ones that we know and the ones that we don't know yet. You know, other challenges that may stem from this current situation. So buckle up, hold on tight, take it one day at a time, have fun, stick together, and what do you call it? Keep going, man. Stay positive.